What is going on here? Look at these little dudes. There's a convention of tiny armadillos. Wow. There they go. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pretty nice summer day, really. The high today is like 83. I guess it's 83 right now. And I'm getting ready to do a little bit of road cruising this afternoon and evening. We have had so much rain lately that it's just been very difficult to get a dry night tonight cruise. So I think we're going to have a dry night tonight. There's a chance we'll have another round of pop-up thunderstorms ruin that. But man, this has been the wettest year I can remember since I started doing YouTube videos. And I know you guys hear me complain about it being dry a lot because I'd rather it be too wet than too dry. But too wet is definitely a thing, and we've been in this too wet pattern since like mid-May. Should be a pretty fantastic afternoon to drive around. Look at this guy. He thought he was gonna get away. Wow. He was like hooding up at my car before I even got out. But there we go. First snake of the day, a little black racer. Very nice looking, healthy little snake. This guy is just completely solid black. You can see he's still got a little bit of that juvenile pattern kind of going up the sides, but very nice looking snake. Literally right past the racer, like seconds later. Come here. I actually just stopped and talked to some people biking and asked them if they ever see snakes on the road out here, and they were like, no, not really. So I found a racer in front of them and then a rat snake right behind them, but they never see snakes out here. Hardly ever, at least. So this is pretty wild. This guy has like one of the gnarliest mite infestations I've ever seen on a wild snake. You can see all that red in between his scales. That is not pattern, that is mites. Pretty nuts. There's not really anything you can do about that when you're a snake. This guy is just covered head to tail in these little parasites. And really, there's not much I could do about it either. It's not like ticks where I can pull them off. There's hundreds and probably even thousands of them on this guy. But very nice. Snakes are moving heavily all of a sudden. 2 snakes in the last 5 minutes, so we're going to keep it moving and hopefully run into something a little rarer than a racer or a rat snake. Not that he wasn't getting himself out of the road before I rudely interrupted him. He was actually moving across the road way faster than most rat snakes do. Usually they're kind of content to chill, but he was doing that when I spotted him. All right, I can't even tell what kind of snake this is. I'm guessing it's a rat snake, but what are you? It is a rat snake. Hey, buddy. Wow, the rat snakes are juiced today. All right. I got real excited seeing a backlit silhouette of a snake I couldn't identify from the car. Whoa, dude. Come on. But nevertheless, it is just our ever-present companion, the gray rat snake. In fact, look at that. He is so orange on the belly. That's awesome. Very, very gray rat for this area. I mean, you guys saw the last one. He was basically solid black, and this one is almost like a South Georgia gray rat, as we expect from intergrade zones. But a nice looking snake. I'm happy to see him. Happy to see a lot of snakes crossing the road so far today. I've been out here since around 4, and it's like almost 7 now. So 3 snakes in that amount of time is really pretty good for this area. Now this guy, that is pure red pigment. That is not mites. This guy is just gray and red. That is a nice looking snake. But we'll try to keep it moving. Rat snakes at the very least are moving. Look at that. That is so awesome. What a fantastic looking snake. All right, buddy. We appreciate you in a big way. Stay out of the road. Not that this road ever has any traffic. It's one of those very rare roads that's kind of a dead end and has very, very few houses on it. So I keep seeing these like perfect little snack-sized bunny rabbits in the road, and I can't help but wonder if that's why there's all these rat snakes out today. And they're just now at the size where they're kind of leaving the nest, I think, and the perfect size for a full-grown adult rat snake or pine snake or any large colubrid to eat before they kind of start growing into that size that's too big for them. Man, we are really out here cruising snakes today. It's not even dark yet, and we've already got a copperhead. Look at that. Beautiful, as always. So pink, this one. Look at that. Incredible. This guy's really big to still have such a vibrant yellow tail tip. Very nice looking snake, though. Hopefully that is a good omen of things to come. I mean, we've seen 4 snakes before dark today, and that's pretty crazy for this area, which is typically a very unsnaky part of the state of Georgia. And it's an area I know intimately well, so It's not like I don't have the experience to know what a normal night is out here. If there's anywhere I know where a normal night is, it's here. And a normal night here is 1 or 2 snakes, usually after dark. Just took a photo of this guy. I've got the camera running right now in case he does anything interesting, but I love a good snake on a dirt road photo. How about you guys? I'll attach the photo I just got of this guy, at least with my 100mm macro. I love taking landscape photos with a macro lens. It's a really nice effect. But beautiful, beautiful first copperhead of the night. Hopefully we'll see a few after dark too, but I'll just get this little guy to the road. All right, first snake after dark is a ringneck. That's kind of weird, but I'll take it. We'll just get this little guy out of the road. Very nice. This is only our second night of successful car night cruising in Georgia this year, and it's mid-June, if you could call this a success. But hopefully there's more to come. We'll get him out of the road and continue. Good evening, everybody. It is mid-June, actually. Today is the solstice, the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. One of my favorite days of the year. But we are headed into our first heat wave, our first real heat wave of the 2025 summer. And we've just had a ton of rain. So a ton of rain, it's nice and hot. I think today is going to be pretty good conditions to be night cruising, which we haven't done much of this year because of how cool and wet it's been. But anyways, we're in Alabama today. We're going to do a little bit of evening 10 flipping, which I don't really have high hopes for, and then road cruise into the night. So let's see what we can get into. This puddle is absolutely full of tadpoles. I don't know who just squeaked right there, but it looks like we might even have a couple of different species in here. I couldn't begin to tell you what these are. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say they're probably... That's a narrowmouth calling, but I think these are probably Cope's gray tree frogs. They, narrowmouths have very distinct tadpoles, and I'm not seeing any in here at the moment, but very, very cool to see this just absolute cackle of tadpoles hanging out in this very small puddle. I don't know what that guy is on about over there. I keep hearing him squeak. So I just pulled off the highway to flip some tin, and as I was pulling off, I almost ran over a full-grown timber that's just crossing the tiny little pull-off that I've stopped at. Holy crap. That thing is beautiful. It's so dark. Oh my goodness, I love a dark timber. And that right there is why they call them velvet tails. But in this guy's instance, it's more like velvet half of his body. That is awesome. What a beautiful snake. This looks like a female too, maybe even a gravid female. I don't know what she's doing out crawling around at this time of year and this time of day, but, well, it is the right time of day, but it's kind of a weird time of year for a gravid female to be crawling around like this. She should be posted up, getting ready to have her babies. And you can see she is not in shed. She's got a very clear eye. She's just dark. That is so cool. Man, birds are calling, rattlesnakes are crawling. It's hot, but that's okay. As long as snakes are out, I don't really care. I got a feeling tonight's going to be a good night. First snake of the day is a timber. You know you're in for a good one. I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but that tends to be true. There's definitely been times where it hasn't been true, but I'd say it's true more often than it isn't. It feels great out here, too. It's hot, but it's not, like, absolutely cooking or anything. It's fantastic. Oh, listen to that cute little rattle she's got. Oh, what a stunning snake. It gets better the more I look at it. I mean, this is like 60% of the way to being that black timber we found in Alabama a couple years ago. Not quite there, but it's probably the next best thing. This thing is genuinely just so cool looking. I really can't get over it. It's like, it's just dark enough that it's weird. Like if it was any lighter, it would be pretty normal for this area, but it's just, you can tell by how dark its head is that it's just a little bit darker than they're supposed to be. She's such a sweetheart too. She's pretty much not even begun to strike at me. No effort to bite, just wants to be left alone as always, so we're gonna do just that. I got a couple photos. We'll make sure she gets going away from the road, and we'll continue on. Maybe we'll see a couple today. All right, love, stay out of the road. You can see I'm right on top of her, and she is just dead set on getting away, as always. Doing a little bit of climbing up in these shrubs here, but you can barely even see her down in the grass. Look at that. Camouflage perfected. We'll leave her to it. All right, first snake after dark, way later than I would have liked it to happen. We have a nice juvenile rat snake. This guy is probably last year's baby or the year before. He's got a little bit of size on him. You can see it looks like he's going to go dark on us. It's going to turn into more of a dark gray rat, maybe even a black rat, which is not something that's super common in Alabama. Either way, nice to get our first snake after dark. Hopefully it will not be the last. Well, I just saw a snake go off the road, and I've been standing here for like 10 minutes trying to find it. Turns out it was sitting right behind my car the whole time, but I have a nice little corn snake. Look at that. Next snake of the night. Dude, you're going to have attitude with us. That's kind of weird for a little corn. Normally they're quite peaceful. Very cool though. Nice looking little snake. We see a lot of corns in this area. Like timbers, they seem to get a lot more omnipresent as you cross into Alabama. All right, we'll leave this little dude to it. He's off the road. Very, very nice. It'd be cool to see a full-grown adult. We've now seen both of the native Pantherophis, which has been happening a lot this year. I thought this little guy was going to be like an earth snake or something, so actually really cool to find out that it was something cooler than what I was expecting. We'll just get him back off the road and continue on. Not a ton of snake activity so far, but a decent amount. We'll continue on for another hour or so, and hopefully something good will make an appearance. Well, it took a lot longer than expected. This is kind of what I was expecting to see a bunch of tonight. The omnipresent Copperhead. It's getting to be that time of year where these are by far the most common snake driving roads at night. Maybe they'll turn on and we'll see a bunch more over the next hour or so, but you never know. Nice looking, fully grown adult Copperhead. All right, this guy's on grumpy mode, so we're gonna try to get him out of the road. Maybe he'll just get himself out of the road. Nope. There we go. Sorry, I had to put my flashlight in my mouth for a second there. All right, here's our next Copperhead of the night. Do you see him? I had a truck right behind me, so I had to go ahead and get him out of the road before getting any video. This guy's a lot smaller than the last one. I've also got the video light. This little dude was actually going the other direction, so we got to move him that way. I just moved him over here temporarily to make sure that truck didn't get him. Much smaller and much skinnier than the last one, for sure. Sure enough, we have a certified later in the night Copperhead window going. There's the third one consecutively. Crazy how that works. They start moving and then they're all moving all at once. Happens all the time. This is probably the prettiest one yet. He is very, very cleanly patterned. Seems to be pretty chill so far too. We'll see how he reacts to me poking him with my snake hook. A little bit of defensive puffing up there. Keep moving, away from the road. There he goes. And there's number 4, the biggest one yet. What the heck? This one's a little bit on the thin side, but he's really long. About as big as they normally get. What's up, buddy? Very, very clean pattern on this one too. 4 Copperheads in the last 30 minutes. Like I said, when they come out, they're all moving at once. Very, very cool. All right, there's number 5. He's muddy. What you been doing, dude? Digging around like a pine snake? A mud-covered Copperhead in mid-June. It's pretty normal to see them covered in mud in like April when they've just come out of brumation, but must have been hanging out in the swamp or catching frogs or something. What the frick was that? That stuff falling out of the trees over there. I'm not paying attention to the Copperhead while wearing sandals. Very smart of me. All right, y'all. Well, I have pulled off to take a whiz and then start my drive home. Lots of snakes, including a couple of the things we always like to see, like timbers and corns. Got a little narrowmouth that keeps trying to interrupt me behind me. But yeah, a lot of the drive home's road cruising, so there's a chance we'll see a few more things. But if not, I'll probably wrap today up here, and I will see you guys next time we get out.